Tonight on Keep It About Ball, we're talking preseason and a 2027 quarterback sleeper. That's right, 2027. This was our first show on StreamYard, and we dealt with some technical difficulties, but we'll have that all cleaned up for you when this gets out. It was fun to record live, and we're excited to keep doing it. It was a great episode, so stick around. It starts now. All right, and welcome into Keep It About Ball. We are live tonight on X and YouTube. I am Zach here, of course, with Brady and Reed. Tonight we are going to get into some stories and headlines from camp and preseason thus far, and then we're going to get into my favorite sleeper for the 2027 season. Yes, 2027, next year, not this year. So we're going to look at that from a dynasty lens. I've got some points I want to make, and these guys are going to let me know if I'm cooking up that fresh Alfredo or if I'm smoking that chode pack. So that'll be fun. Before we get into all that, though, I'm sure you think so. Before we get into all that, I want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, comment, leave a good review wherever you listen to. We're trying to grow the show, so any traction in the algorithm really helps. If you're feeling frisky, you can even go check the show notes for our affiliate link, which I will add onto the screen right now. Like we got Chill Bros boxers right there. I'm sure they're pretty comfy. And then we also got Old Glory here, a bunch of band merch. I'm actually wearing a shirt from there now, the sick-ass Boston Red Sox shirt. The city skyline in the background, very well made. I'm pretty happy with it. So lots of cool stuff there. Make sure you use promo code ZBR12. Don't be like me and forget to use the code and then pay full price and not support yourself, because that's not very fun, is it? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the show. To start, Jamal, gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Jamal Adams, just announced a couple hours ago he's gonna miss the season with a season-ending knee injury. So I want to ask you first, Brady, how are you doing? And also, is this a big deal for you guys?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad we're doing this live. Pretty excited about it. As far as a big deal goes, I mean, it's not the biggest deal. I mean, he would have been a rotational safety linebacker hybrid kind of. And with Harrison Smith's unknown future, I mean, it is a little bit of a hit, but I mean, our defense should still be fine. So it does suck for him because he's battled so many injuries and he was flashing in camp and actually made a couple plays in preseason too. But it's I wouldn't say it's a major deal, but it just sucks for him.
Right, absolutely. Of course, we can't talk about the Vikings right now and not talk about Reed's favorite player being named the starter at quarterback. I really wish his face was on the screen right now so I could see it. I'm sure he's giving me a real steam
He,
face. But Reed, just a week ago, you were talking about Kyler doesn't know the playbook and he was practicing bad and this and that. Well, the air's been let out of copium, bud. So are you ready to cheer on K1 this year? And also, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. You wouldn't have seen my face right away. I looked down when you started talking about it. Man. Yeah, he's got my support. They needed to give one of them first team reps, and I'm glad they did it sooner than later. Um, Everything I've seen is they're changing the playbook up and trying to fit his more play style more. They didn't show it in the preseason game. They're still trying to hide it for week one. But yeah, it is unfortunate. I'll support the tater tot till the wheels fall off for him. Then it's off with his head. Get him out of here.
Fair enough, I suppose. Brady, I know you're a Kyler guy. I'm sure you're excited he's been named the starter.
yeah, I mean, I've been a Kyler guy since he's been to OU. I mean, I'm an Oklahoma fan, obviously. Um, I like the potential if everything clicks. I think he could. I think we got a good enough team where he could lead us deep into the playoffs. I feel. Um, Jay Reed was telling me, was it yesterday, the other day, that I should be looking at the Vikings as a Super Bowl contender, and I was like, I don't know about that,
Hey
but
man, you can't go 20-0 without winning the first one.
Yeah,
Oh, they
I
got
mean, some unrealistic expectations. I think 10, 11 wins is probably the ceiling. But
I think the
yeah,
ceiling is 14, 15. I think the floor is probably 10 if everyone's healthy. New run
floor is
game looked
10.
good that they flashed a little bit in the preseason game. Defense is going to just be, I think, insane. I'm excited. I can't wait. Drinking the Kool-Aid until reality sets in. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm drinking the
Yeah, I need
Kool-Aid
to
too.
see how this
I'm a
goes.
Kyler guy, and the team's gonna be. Yeah. I like. He's got the best weapons he's ever had, and we've seen him play at MVP levels. Best coaching, just like best everything. He's got Brian Flores holding his back on the
Yeah.
other side. Has Kyler ever played with a good defense? Ever?
Probably not a
No,
top half of the
no.
league defense.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cardinals have
Middle of
been
pack at
pretty
best.
bad.
So.
I'm pretty sure like his Arizona defensive rankings, I'm pretty sure was like 28th, 30th, and like hovering around like the bottom third of the league as far as defenses
Yeah.
go. I think, yeah, this is by far the best weapons, best coach, best defense. It should it should work. Well, it's really on KOC, honestly. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now. Just in the last 3 years, they finished 31st, 15th, and 29th. So
Yeah, I had two of
middle of
them
pack at
pretty damn near
best.
right. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Vikings are gonna have better than the 15th defense. So
They fucking better. They fucking better.
yeah, or if they don't, then the season's probably not gonna go as well as we think. So
Yeah, yeah. If the defense isn't rolling, then it's gonna be.
yeah,
Yeah, it
this
won't be good.
might be the first time Kyler actually plays with a lead. You
Yeah,
know,
not
because I
playing
mean,
hero ball from behind and stuff all the
right,
time. Can just kind of settle in
right,
and play his game. Right. Although
yep.
his game is kind of hero ballish, but yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
we'll see.
Also in injury news, though, Kyle Monangai left practice with the trainer today. I haven't seen any word on exactly what it is, but it was a hamstring he was already dealing with, right?
That sounds about right.
I think so. I think he was
Darn.
already dealing with something, if I'm not mistaken. Reed, you are a resident Bears fan, so I ask you:
Ha!
is
Yeah,
this a big
get
deal
bent,
for your
bro. Get out of here.
for your Indiana Bears?
Major deal.
I mean, any big loss like that for a team really sucks. You spend a lot of money on a player, and you know.
Did they pay him?
I thought he was drafted just like a year or two ago. I
Oh
didn't think
wait.
they paid him.
Yeah, he's
Oh shit.
not Swift, Monangai.
Oh. My bad. My bad. My
Yeah,
understanding is they say it doesn't look. I saw a report earlier. It doesn't look too serious, but they're going to do an MRI to confirm the structural. They said they don't think anything structurally is damaged from the initial reports. So we'll see. They run, a two-back system, so it is a big deal. Roshan Johnson would have to step up. I believe he's still there.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, so and it is huge for a OC that uses two backs like that because him and Swift last year had almost a 50-50 split.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, in other news, Aaron Donald worked out with the Rams again. To me, it kind of feels like they should probably just go ahead and sign him. Both sides obviously want it to happen. I've been wondering what he still has to offer. Brady, do you think he can still be like a difference maker?
Well, he's 35, and I think he's been away from football for 2 years. Now, I mean, Aaron Donald's probably one of the greatest defensive players ever, but I say this like, say he was falling off his last few years isn't really the case, but like not up to his standards, I would say. I would think he's a productive player, but a difference maker, I'm not so sure. But it certainly wouldn't hurt that defense, that's for sure. And who knows if he is like maybe he's had 2 years away where he's not dealing with these nagging injuries and maybe just comes out refreshed and comes out with like 20 sacks like he had that one year, with Miles Garrett. Like that could be potentially scary. You
Yeah,
can't double team one or the other, like pick your poison.
Byron Young going to work out with Aaron Donald and Byron puking because of how intense it was, and Donald was just no problem. I think he's still in great shape. He's probably healed up. I think there's a good chance he'd be dominant and paired with what's his name, Colby Turner. Is that the other edge? Myles Garrett. I mean, he had like 12 sacks last year, 11 sacks. So, I mean, it'd just be a super elite D line in my opinion, wreaking a lot of havoc.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. Just the age, you know, and just being away from football for 2 years is really the thing for me. But
He did work out with them again today.
yeah,
We'll
I seen
we'll,
that.
we'll see.
I think it's gonna happen. I mean, I don't see what the point is of him doing it if he's not.
I agree.
I don't think he needs the training camp or like the reps. I think he could probably just
No,
put
I
him in.
I think
And
him working out with them is just a part of him ramping up and seeing if he can do it and
yeah,
see what comes of it.
yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely. So I do want to say we do completely unrelated. I was trying to find our YouTube page to see if I could check in on how the live was going from there. And when I typed in, at first I typed in ZBR Sports. Apparently there's another ZBR Sports, believe it or not. Uh,
Really
yeah, and it's it's the title page is ZBR Sports, but then it says ZBR Islamic Shorts, and that's the whole thing, and it's all in like Arabic. It's a bunch of like Arabic looking dudes. There's some soccer in there,
so we're
but
not worried about
yeah.
rebranding our name then.
But I mean, we're just going to keep it about ball.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying we used to be that, and I'm looking at our
Mm-hmm.
page right now, and for some reason I do not see us live there. So let me while I look into that. Okay. Yeah, we talked enough about Aaron Donald. I did want to ask you guys though: Are the Rams are they the NFC favorite right now?
I'm pretty sure. I have to look. I do want to drop this little nugget. So with Flores, since 2023, they are second in the NFL for overall NFL ranking for EPA per play. Only the Cleveland Browns have a better defense since 23.
Nice. I mean, that's expected. But what was your question again, Zach? I'm sorry.
If the Rams are the NFC favorite.
Rams. On paper, yeah, probably. It's a lot of question marks with that team. Just Puka and it's just a lot of star power. Just don't know if it's gonna crash and burn or not. I mean, on paper, I would say so, but Seattle's still here. Philadelphia should be improved. Uh, yeah, I would probably say so.
Yeah, yeah,
LA doesn't need
it's
a
tough to say
championship
not.
though.
Agreed. Fuck them.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck them.
uh, Jordan Tyson is dealing with an injury. It feels like since he got drafted.
Yep.
Uh, what do you make of him, Reed, for this year? And then Brady, what do you make of it for Chris Olave?
Well, for starters, I mean, he had this injury in college. He had it before the combine. I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't go. Um, I think he performed at a pro day for his school. I'm pretty sure before preseason it popped up with a hammy during camp, and then again now. Just who knows? It's not good. That's for dang sure. It's very concerning considering the history. It's hard to trust it. I mean, in fantasy, he's a stash, but as far as for on the field, I mean, that just puts a lot more on Olave and their receiving core. They've got Devon Vele and Barium Brown and Bryce Lance. Those guys are two rookies, Brown and Lance, and yeah, it's tough for Tyson. He's so talented. Like if he could be on the field with Olave, they'd be one of the best duos in the league, in my opinion. It'd be pretty lethal. I think Shuck's pretty underrated. But if Tyson can't stay healthy and go out there, that should spell for a monstrous year for Olave if he's healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I took a chance on Tyson in one of our leagues just because I didn't have mine. Man, he's talented, but in my major, um, or HTP, I should say, Olave, having him is going to be great because he's already targeting Olave a lot last season. I imagine that's just going to be even more. Another year in the system, Kellen Moore. Yeah, it's gonna be good having Olave on my fantasy team.
Doubt it. I really hope not.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Uh, all right, Reed. Jeremiah Love is going to miss a week with a sore ankle. Should this be a red flag for fantasy managers?
A little bit, just because it happened during a hip drop tackle, and the fact that they said week 1 of the regular season is 4 weeks, it likely signals high ankle, which isn't good. Um, it's definitely a hit, and it'll be an injury to look out for the rest of the year to see if he re-aggravates it at all.
I'm actually looking at it right now. It looks like it is, in fact, a high ankle sprain. Brady, does that make it even worse for you?
Absolutely, that's the worst ankle sprain you can get. Is the high ankle, and I could linger on for 6, even 8 weeks. I mean, do I think he's going to be completely healthy for the start of the season? No, I think it'd be foolish of them for them to put him out there. Personally, he's a rookie. Why would you do that? You know,
Right,
Would
right.
they signed Algier, right? They have. I
Yeah, and they
mean,
got James Conner. They got Trey Benson. There's another dude in
yeah,
there. They
they
got
could.
they got a
They got
lot
to hold
of
them.
bodies in that running room. We'll see
They should be able to.
how
They're not
great
going to be
any of them are.
competing anyway. They could hold the
Yeah.
fort down until he's healthy. So yeah, if they're smart, they'll sit him until he's completely healthy.
And lastly, before we get into the 2027 sleeper, Jonathan Brooks hype has been building all offseason. Now, Chuba's been dealing with an injury in camp in the preseason. Reed, I know you're in on your Texas guy bouncing back. Will Chuba be a problem throughout the year, and what is his fantasy ceiling through the year?
Well, if Chuba's healthy, I could see Brooks getting just north of maybe about 100 touches and carries. Um, it definitely sounds like he's going to be a lot more involved in the pass game than Chuba, and I think that, he's unproven. People are asking an arm and a leg for him in fantasy leagues. I get it. Being atop the depth chart is good, but when you have back-to-back serious knee injuries and you still never touched the football field in a regular season game, I'm not sending a lot or a big offer for a guy like that. I mean, and even if Chuba's healthy, if Jonathan balls, there's a good chance he just overtakes him for RB1, kind of like how Rico Dottle did last year. Zach, you're muted.
Oh, that makes me so happy. We're a real podcast. Someone had to say someone was muted for the first time. Officially a real podcast. That's great. No, but I think you're right. They obviously they're willing to move on from Chuba. They had Rico Dowdle running the ball in there, and it's Dave Canales, right? He loves he just rides the hot hand. If you're the best player, he's gonna play you. Like he'll do it at quarterback. He'll do it at running back. He's benched Bryce Young like 2 or 3 times now. Like that's pretty crazy for a quarterback to get benched and then started again like that. So definitely, Reed or Brady, excuse me. I did have the same question for you, and actually, instead of the same question, I will say this. I've been seeing or hearing, I should say, like a lot of people with fantasy, like Matt Harmon and stuff like that, like really smart people in the space talking about Heath Cummings too, talking about like Jonathan Brooks could be like a late sixth, seventh round pick now at this point. Are you guys buying him at that spot?
I wouldn't touch him with
Nope.
100-foot pole. No, not at all. I wouldn't even
No.
want him on my team personally. I mean, Two knee
I would
injuries,
definitely take a
same
late round
knee.
shot.
Late,
I
sure.
just,
Round 6, way too early.
yeah, that's way
Yeah,
too early. I'm
I think
personally
once you
just,
start hitting like the double digit rounds and you just
Yeah,
start
that's
to
kind of what
take
I'm
chances
thinking.
on upside and stuff.
yeah, I'm just personally out on him. I don't think he'll ever be healthy. It's
Sure.
just not worth it. You know, I'd rather take a jar throw on someone else personally. But he did have talent in college, but I just think that's
Would
probably
you like
wrong on him.
to would you like to hear where you went my best ball draft today?
Oh boy, yeah, I would.
Fourth round, maybe.
This was this was 10
I'm gonna say
man
seventh.
PPR. He went round 8, pick 6.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it because I mean, right now he is kind of the starter, and I don't know, it's just
He went before
it's
Jalen
kind of messy.
Warren, before RJ Harvey, before Jordan Mason, before Chuba was even off the board. He went 9-6.
I can kind of understand going before Jordan Mason, personally,
It's gonna be the
but
Vikings RB1
I don't know.
and a
Aaron
run
Jones looks
scheme that
pretty good.
benefits him. They both will. I think they'll both be solid. I think they're
yeah,
set for
it will
explosive
be
runs this
interesting.
year, so it won't matter who's out there. They'll both feast, I'm sure. We might be a very run-heavy team this year, if we're being honest, especially if we're seeing a lot of success.
I mean, I believe we'll run the ball more, but I don't think we'll ever be a run heavy team under KOC. I just don't ever see that happening. But if we can run it effectively and have a healthy even split, that'd be great.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna go ahead and get into our first break, and then we will be right back with a 2027 sleeper.
Blake Bortles, okay.
All right, we are back. So today we want to talk to you from a dynasty lens. Sleeper. And no, not Park Washington, not Josh Downs or some other guy I've heard hours of content about this offseason that ever this is like
Ooh,
that's our
Zach, you're
sleeper when everybody's
cutting
saying this is
out,
their favorite sleeper.
lagging.
Um oh no.
You were lagging pretty bad there.
Is that any better?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're freezing up a little bit, like as far as your video. But you lagged out there for like
Okay.
5 or 6 seconds where we couldn't
Okay.
make out what you were saying.
All right. Well, what I was saying was we're going to talk about a real dynasty sleeper, not like Parker Washington or Josh Downs or some other guy you've heard hours of content about this offseason because they're not really sleepers because everyone's telling you they're their favorite sleepers, and they've got steamed up so much. But this is a true sleeper. I feel like if you're in a rebuild or even just a quick retool, you're considering adding a quarterback if it's not settled, just looking for more depth. He's not currently a starter, but I'm very, very confident that next year he will be. That's what we're about to get into. Today, we are talking about Patriots legend Mac Jones. Okay.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
All right. I was expecting more of a response. All right. Okay. All right.
I mean,
Why though? What's your thought
So,
process here?
Mac, well, that's what we're going to get into. And Mac, I think, has a great chance to be a bridge starter for a team for the next 3 to 4 years. And we're going to get into why I think people should go ahead and start buying him in Dynasty if he's like rostered or if he's not on waivers. If he's on waivers, you should just go pick him up. Firstly,
there's a good
because
chance.
that's kind of a point. He's cheap. Like he's in a lot of 2 quarterback leagues, unless the Purdy manager has picked him up for a handcuff, he's probably available. And even if he is there, you're probably not going to have to pay more, I think, than like a third or fourth round pick, depending on how many rounds your league does. What would you guys the cost of him would be right now?
Well, if I remember correctly, I talked to Ty about Mac Jones because he has Brock Purdy and Mac Jones in HDP. And I believe at the time he wanted a second round pick for Mac Jones. This would have been months ago, though.
Okay. And
Like
see, I
during
was
this.
thinking that might be like high end, especially if
I think
especially
that's
if it
what I
is
would
coming
ask
from the
for.
Purdy owner. You might have to pay a second.
I think that's what I would ask for if I had him. I think he's going to be a starter somewhere next year. No doubt about it. And honestly, dude, what if he's a Vikings quarterback next year? That's not the craziest thing to happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I was
Like,
gonna kind of bring up
I
that
mean,
point in a little
he's
bit
a little
too.
bit
Yeah.
more of a prototypical quarterback than Kyler is, as far as a Kevin O'Connell style quarterback.
He'd
Bigger,
basically be Kirk Cousins light, kind of.
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, is that crazy to think about, or like wrap your head around? No, I don't think so. Or just
I don't
anywhere.
think
Like
so.
he could be a bridge anywhere to these other teams. Like he's going to be a starter. He's going to have like a
Right.
2-3 year deal, definitely.
I agree.
Bucks.
So I'm not gonna have to do too much selling on you. What, Reed?
Mac Jones to the Bucks. You heard it here.
Yeah, I could see it.
The Bucks. See, and that's one of the teams we're gonna talk about. So I'm glad you guys are somewhat on board with this, and I'm not smoking chode pack. I'm making some.
Well, let's not get ahead of
Let's
ourselves.
go. No, but my point I wanted to make was is like we've seen the career arc. I mean, we're just talking about the Bucks with a guy like Baker going to Tampa Bay, kind of revitalizing his career. Sam Darnold going to Minnesota. He was in San Francisco there. We see now he's a Super Bowl winner. We've seen dudes start off in a dysfunctional organization and land somewhere and they're just like not good. Like the Patriots, a lot of people don't say they're dysfunctional, but for a 4 to 5 year stretch, we were about as dysfunctional as like the Browns on a Monday morning in Week 16 because they're probably firing a coach. And Mac just got the shit end of the stick with the Belichick Brady Kraft fallout, just constant comparison to the greatest QB and pressure to go with it. Belichick had just lost his fastball at that point. His offensive coordinator was a defensive coordinator. It wasn't even that good of a defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia. I could never stand him and a lot of Patriots coordinators. But there was constantly things. The team was in the media, for not good things. Owners getting jacked off and massage parlors and shit. Like it's just we talk about the lack of talent with Drake May too. Like his skill players last year, everyone's like, "Ooh, he did that with just Keyshawn Booty and what's Jalen Polk." Like, okay, yeah, that's true. But Mac Jones was playing with like rookie Keyshawn Booty. Wide receiver one was like Kendrick Bourne, washed Ezekiel Elliott. Like it was just a dog shit situation, not good. And uh, and when he's been in good spots, we've seen him be better. Like in Jacksonville, Brian Thomas Jr. was great with Mac, and Mac was decent there when Trevor was hurt, or Trevor Lawrence was hurt. And then last year when Brock was hurt, he was pretty solid. And in his last 3 games, he averaged 250 yards. He threw 7 touchdowns and 2 picks, and that's against Houston, the Giants, and the Rams. So not even like pushover teams. I think in a decent spot, he like the Bucks, like Reed said, that he could really revitalize his career. And that's where I was going to say Minnesota. Cause could you imagine him as Minnesota's quarterback this year? I think we'd be pretty high on Minnesota's offense. I know I would.
Oh yeah, I would definitely be. Not that I'm not with Kyler, but Mac Jones is
Right.
very like I said, more of a prototypical KOC QB. I didn't even know this, but apparently Kyler Murray is the 5th most accurate quarterback in NFL history.
Yep, that is correct.
Just crazy. Like that tater tot's accurate.
A little tater tot.
That's my tater tot.
Love
But yeah.
it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I
Should
got
be a
high
fun
hopes.
season.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's gonna
Mac
be,
Jones will look good in it, for
well,
sure.
yeah, but like, not to get too off our topic, but if like Kyler does ball out and we win 14 games, like, I mean, he probably gets extended here, like on a Sam Darnold contract.
I would
Reed?
hope
Yeah, I
not.
mean,
All right.
Yeah.
he would.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back. We were holding the fort,
All right.
man. But
lagged out right there.
yeah,
All right,
like I was
sweet.
telling.
Oh, you guys were still going?
Yeah, we were talking about
Okay,
while you were
sweet.
out. So
Good
yeah,
to know.
yep. But yeah, like I was saying though, to Reed is
I'm glad it doesn't just cancel out since I was the host. Good.
I don't know if you heard that stat that I said, but Kyler Murray is the 5th most accurate quarterback in NFL history. Just wild.
The 5th most accurate in NFL history.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I heard that stat, I think, yesterday. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I mean,
I didn't hear what
it's
you
not
said. Okay.
What's that? But yeah, no, it's not a small
freaking
sample
cut
size
out
either.
again. So
You didn't hear what I said?
no.
Oh, Kyler Murray, the 5th
No, I
most
heard the
accurate.
stat that he was most accurate, but I didn't hear what you said after that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
5th most.
it's not a small sample size either. My dude's played 7-8 years, so.
Right.
But yeah, back to the
One
Mac
winning
Jones
season,
thing,
about to add a second one.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to when you're in that division. I'm not trying to make the most excuses for the guy because I'm probably more pessimistic than you are, but
Yep, for the rest of this, that's fine though. Okay. I'm gonna trust we got most of what we had to say there covered out while I was trying to sort through all this tech stuff. I don't have a great Wi-Fi reception up here, so that kind of sucks. Let me actually move this over Yander real quick. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that should work well enough. I'll move this like this. All right, and so like I said, that brings me okay to the next point about like Minnesota could use them. 12 teams upcoming offseason that are going to need a quarterback. Certainly 6 for sure. And so I'm going to start with the 6 for sure teams, and then we'll do the 6 teams that maybe are. And I'll just kind of make my point to you guys, and you guys can riff from there. Okay, so the first one that definitely needs a quarterback next year is the Jets. Geno is a bridge quarterback and kind of a shitty bridge quarterback at this point. A lot of people like to defend him, be like, "Ooh, last year with the Raiders, you could throw it out because the team was bad." Like, he was on the team. That's part of what made them bad. And just I don't really see. He was never that great. He had a bit of an okay prime, and I think he's past what little bit of a prime he had. So I would really like to see that too. I know I'm a Pats fan, but I think Mac Jones going and having like a couple of career years in with the Jets, like at 30 years, it just like takes them to like a conference championship where he loses. Maybe makes the playoffs next year. So it would just be funny, and it would be very Jets. I feel like, I don't know. What would you guys think about Mac Jones to the Jets?
makes sense. They got weapons, I think he'd make them a 500 team at the very least. Maybe they sneak into the playoffs, a year or two. But
yeah,
I think they're probably going to draft one because they're going to be so bad. So they'll probably run Arch Manning.
I think they would rather draft one than sign a bridge. They already drafted Cade Klubnik, and I'm pretty high on him. I think he's the future of the team, barring someone doesn't come in and steal the job or they draft someone better somehow. We'll see what happens. For me, Mac Jones to the Jets would be one of the least likely of the teams that you probably have on your list.
I agree. I think they're going to be picking top 3, and I don't agree with the K Klubnik. Yeah. I don't think he's good. I thought he was dog water.
Well, this isn't so much about the likelihood of him going to these teams, because I don't really think he's going to the Jets. It's just more about what would you think, like if he were to land in that situation.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah. So the next team is the Browns. Obviously, Deshaun is cooked. You can look at his numbers right here on the screen if you're watching this. The fact that they were leery. Have they named this official starter yet? Is it officially Watson?
No, they're going to play him in the preseason, but I would assume so. Watson played decent the other day, so, and he's better than Shedeur,
right?
Which is not a high bar to clear.
The fact, Right. And I feel like the fact though that they're leery to name the starter or name him as the starter while paying all that money kind of says it all. I also think the fact that they won't give the young guy Shadur uh, the confidence boost and like the go and be like, hey, you know what, Deshaun's Cook, you're our guy. Let's roll with it. I think that says even more. Um, Neither one of them have been particularly good. Shadur will still be there next year though, unless he's just catastrophic this year. If I'm not mistaken, it is the last year of Watson's deal, so he's probably done with football after this year. So they're definitely going to want someone in there. Uh, I know we're not talking about redraft today, but whichever one of these guys gets named the starter, as soon as he gets benched, I'm preemptively Reed, you're gonna say I don't know ball and I'm retarded. I'm preemptively taking a shot on Taylor Green just to stash him for the upside. Just a game or two. I don't think he's gonna be good, but just like a game or two before teams have the film on him. He's got the rushing upside. Maybe he has a couple really nice games, and then they get film on him, and he sucks for the rest of his career there.
Like Josh
I would
Dobbs.
not like to see
Needs
Mac
to
go
convert
here.
to wide receiver. Be a terrible spot.
Josh Dobbs. Who should convert to wide receiver? Taylor?
Yeah. Freak athlete.
Is that who you're talking about, Reed? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Huh, yeah. If he's got hands, I mean, yeah. Sure. Whatever you got to do, I suppose. The next team is the Steelers. We all know it's Rodgers last year. I don't want to rule out Will Howard, but he's, still there. Mason Rudolph is still listed on the depth chart as the backup, and then Drew Aller, he had a decent preseason showing and rookie. So there's going to be dudes in the room, but it just feels like they're probably going to be looking for something. Would you guys agree they'll need a quarterback next year?
Yeah, I mean, if they're bad, they might. I mean, they could take a chance on one of their young guys they have, but if Mac Jones wants to sign with them, I could see Mike McCarthy saying, "Yeah, I could work with that guy," and I think it makes sense. I think it probably makes sense more than
Right.
the Jets, personally, because
Sure.
do I think Mike McCarthy can develop the young quarterback? Sure, but I think he's ready to rock and roll, trying to win. You know what I mean? The Steelers aren't
Absolutely.
built that way. I guess they're always competitive, so that one makes more
That's
sense.
kind of the point I was going to make. Yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
they're always going to play to be in the playoffs and to be competitive. So they're at minimum going to want to bring in a serviceable pro to be a backup or a bridge or something like that, even if they have a young guy.
I got Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. I think Mac Jones is better than Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, that's the future.
Yeah. Future backup. He's been the backup for I don't know how long, but no, Mac Jones there would make sense. I like that fit. I like it a lot.
All right. My next team is the Falcons. Tua could be serviceable, but that's probably going to be the best case scenario. I think this is like the beginning of his journeyman arc. Proves he's serviceable here, kind of floats around the league. Maybe gets a deal here, a deal there, goes to be a backup for a couple years, gets another bridge quarterback gig, something like that. I think Michael Penix is just like straight up not good. So yeah, stat guys don't like him, the film bros don't like him, and I don't fucking like him either. This one feels pretty possible too, because they'll probably win just enough games to not draft one of the top quarterbacks, and they've got so many other needs. And the last time they drafted a QB potentially a little too early and reached on one, they kind of got drugged by everyone for it, and it turned out to be justified. So I could see them saying, let's build up the roster in the draft, get a legit starter, and they got a decent skill crew in that division. With a good quarterback, they could probably win 9, maybe 10 games, win the division.
I agree. Actually.
Mac Jones could honestly probably pretty easily own the NFC South.
It's a pretty good fit actually. Kevin Stefanski, I'm sure now. He worked with Kirk Cousins. That would be seamless, I think. Yeah, no, I might even that's right up there with Pittsburgh. I think that's a really good fit. And Mac Jones is going to get a job somewhere.
for sure. Reed, what do you think about the Falcons?
I think it would be very good for Mac Jones to land with the Falcons. All the weapons they have, definitely be definitely be probably one of the top destinations for QB needs for a team to go to. I like, yeah.
You know,
Mac,
next team, yeah, next team. Sorry, go ahead.
very good. Next team, please. Yee.
Okay, okay, okay. The Bucks. I mean, it's pretty simple. Baker's contract is up. We already brought the Bucks up, and I kind of get them not wanting to extend Baker. Why? Right? Kind of sounded like they were offering him a fair deal, and he wanted more. So, I don't know.
Like 51 million or something.
I think they might be yeah, and he was kind of a bridge quarterback too. So they might just be getting to the end of that bridge and saying it's time to
Sure.
start a new era. We got all these new receivers. Evans is gone. Brady is over. Because this is still kind of the tail end of what was left of the Brady era with Chris
Yeah.
Godwin, Mike Evans, and all that.
Todd
But they
Bowles
kind of
probably
built
on the
up
way
the
out
dudes on the
too.
defense. Yeah, yeah. Tampa Bay is probably going to look a little different next year.
I agree.
Lastly, for the for sure teams is the Cardinals. Uh, when I was typing this up, I actually could not remember what Jacoby Brissett's name was for a good like minute and a half. And that's crazy because I have him on my dynasty rosters. But I mean, it just kind of says a lot. They fought him tooth and nail for a 1 year deal that they didn't pay him shit on. Like, obviously, he's not popular with the front office. I don't think he's going to be there next year. And I know this is kind of they're definitely a prime. It doesn't matter. They're drafting a quarterback team, but I when you look at the rest of the room, I could definitely see them wanting to bring a vet in to help smooth over the process because you don't want to just throw a rookie in right away into that division against Seattle's defense, against Fred Warner and Kyle Shanahan, against Myles Garrett and Sean McVay. You probably want a dude that maybe is familiar with one of those teams like Mac Jones and knows what they do from the inside. At least, to maybe get you through the rough stretch of the season to bring in the young guys so that he's not getting thrown into a gauntlet and just kind of gets the Sam Darnold treatment to avoid that. What would you guys think about that kind of situation?
Well, that's what smart organizations would do, but Arizona, no,
But
they
it's the
would draft someone
Cardinals.
in. But they would draft someone like Arch Manning or Dante Moore, and they would throw them in there like save us. And yeah, sink or swim. No, they're too dumb. They're not
I
going to do
don't.
that.
Yeah, I don't like Mac Jones to the Cardinals at all.
I don't think Mac Jones likes to the Cardinals. I think he'd rather be a backup than be the starter in Arizona.
Yeah.
And why get yourself killed?
All right. Well, that was all of the for sure teams. Let's go into some of the maybes. These like they're maybes, and I'm just kind of like shooting that I could see these scenarios happening, but they're not for sure. Some of these teams might have their quarterback of the future right now, and we just haven't seen that yet for the season. So the first one of those, excuse me, is the Dolphins, and it's not hard for me to see Malik Willis having a not good year. We haven't seen a ton of Malik looking like a great quarterback in the league, and when we have, it's been limited sample size. It's been with a good coach, a good group of weapons around him, and who's the coach of Miami? We'll see how that goes this year. But as of right now, the weapons are abysmal.
Packers D coordinator that went there.
I can't.
The Packers DC. I can't
I
remember his
didn't catch
name.
his name. What was it?
I can't remember his name.
Here, I'm
It was it's the old defensive coordinator. I'm drawing a blank. I think it's supposed to have an H. His last name. Yeah, it's slipping my mind. But
I'm pulling
and they also hired
one of them
someone
now.
from the
Jeff
front
Halfley.
office too. Halfley, that's it. And they hired someone from the Green Bay front office too. They're calling them the Miami Packers or the Green Bay Dolphins. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I've
geez,
heard
this
that
guy's
this
like
offseason. Yeah,
with
that's funny.
the with the quarterback too. It's just like, I mean, I get the jokes, but that team's gonna be pretty bad. I don't know if they're going to be worse than the Jets, but
Yeah, I,
I see
I
them
think
probably
they
winning
will.
5 games.
I heard a stat the other day, and this one blew my mind. So the average NFL offense makes like 150 million a year, and right now there's I forget what team it was. They were hanging around like 100 million, and the lowest paid team on offense is the Dolphins. And I don't remember, it was 57 or 67 million dollars this year that the Dolphins offense is making. It was like close to like almost 100 million under the league average for an offensive payroll. So I could see it being a shit show and Malik just not being that good. We see more of like Tennessee Malik as opposed to Green Bay Malik, and they could just be looking for a quarterback, I think.
It's very possible. Um, it could be a disaster, you know. I do like Malik's traits, you know, but just with no weapons to throw to, really, and just Achan, I don't think is really going to get you over, you know, the hump. Should be even remotely competitive, but yeah,
I agree.
yeah, they who knows? They just do they need a quarterback? Probably they need a lot. They need just about everything. So
Yeah, it kind of feels like a test run to see if Malik's got what it takes to be the franchise QB. They can also still, if they're bad, while trying to figure that out, they could draft somebody and then it could just be a bridge for a year. Who knows what'll happen? But as far as being a team for uh, Mac Jones, I would not want him to go there.
Yeah, I would not either. And I don't think he
Terrible.
would want to go into a rebuild either. Yeah. All right, so we can move on. The next one, this might be a hot take to some people, but I think the New York Giants. For me, I could just easily see Jackson Dart being ass and the coaching
Brother.
staff that didn't draft him moving on and being like, "Hey, let's
I
bring,"
see that part.
or at minimum, bringing in a vet for some competition. If he's not playing well, to be like, "Hey, you kind of got to earn this," so they at least got a backup plan or whatever. If he doesn't show third year improvement.
Funny you say that. I literally saw a report or someone put out there about Vikings trading JJ to the Giants. Not necessarily, Mac Jones, but uh,
Yeah.
I mean, you have Greg Roman, Matt Nagy, and I can't remember somebody else as your offensive guys. It's so hilarious, the reports coming out and the quotes from Matt Nagy, and
Yeah.
just, geez, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to the blue tent
I
like
agree.
what 3 or 4 plays into the preseason game.
Yeah, and it's not like he hit his head. He got hit in
He
the.
got fucking smoked.
Yeah, he got smoked.
That was a blind thing.
Whiplash at worst.
Flores is unkind. To say
All
the
right,
least.
and we are back after some of the aforementioned technical difficulties. So where we left off, we just got done talking about the Giants. So next on my list was the Vikings. We already kind of mentioned a bunch of that. I suppose I should say I'm finishing out on my own. We were having connection issues and everything. The fellas, I told them, I'm almost done anyways with all my yapping. Y'all can go ahead and tap out for the night, and I'll finish up. So it is the Vikings. Like we already talked about that, so I didn't have much to say when I was lagging out there earlier. As much as I like Kyler, though, as of right now, the battle is pretty much the same thing as Atlanta. So you could argue this team should be grouped in with that first group that's guaranteed going to need the quarterback. It's a vet quarterback, who has shown like not high end MVP play, but like has gotten MVP consideration before, like been in the bottom end of the conversation. And both those guys have been, Tua and Kyler. And, now they've had coming off a couple of not their best seasons, and they're competing for their job against a couple of incompetent second year retards. And I think both of them are going to win their jobs. And be serviceable enough. But as much as I hope for that and like that, and I hope for Kyler to be great here, got to be practical and know that it might not happen. So yeah, moving on to the Colts. That is the next one. I don't feel like this one's too hard to explain. We've seen limited samples of Daniel the Dollar General Jones being a good quarterback in this league. Now he's coming back from a major injury. He lost Michael Pittman for what that was worth. DJ is a bad season away from being a backup quarterback for the rest of his career in my season, and I think that could very well happen this year. The way they operated last year was just historic levels of efficiency, and I don't think that's going to continue. So, moving on, the next team after that is the Titans. So, for the Titans, it's kind of the same scenario as the Giants. You know, Cam regresses or just does not progress, and the new coaching staff coming in didn't draft this guy, really wanting to keep their job, especially probably more so for Robert Saleh and company. I think in this situation, going to be playing for their job more than Harbaugh. Harbaugh's probably going to have a longer leash, I think, especially in New York. But you know, maybe just Cam doesn't show anything special this year, and they're like, hey, maybe we're not done with you, but we're at least bringing in a contingent backup plan, a little safety net for us because we need to win this year. So you need to play because if you don't step up, we're gonna have this guy step up for us. I think is kind of where that's at right now. And the last team I have for the maybes is the Panthers, and you could probably make a pretty good case that these guys should, or that this team should be with the other group as well, because a lot of people are just out on Bryce Young. You'll see his stats there on the screen right now. He's just not very good. Like we mentioned, I think earlier in the pod with the guys, he's been benched, started, benched again, and then been started again, and it's just that says a lot. Coaches don't like to do that kind of stuff. So I think that he's going to have to really step up and show a pretty significant bit of progression as a pass and just as a quarterback as a whole. And I don't think that'll happen. So I think the Panthers very well could be looking for a quarterback next year. And I guess kind of like didn't make the cut for the list, but if you really want to, I could understand if someone wanted to say the Raiders. If you're just a completely anti-Mendoza kind of person, you don't think he's good, you think he's a bust, and you're just like, well, Kirk will be 40, this dude's not going to be good, they're going to be looking for something else. I'm not going to argue with you on it. I don't watch enough college football to really know if I think Mendoza's going to be great or if I think he's going to be bad. I'm just always pretty hesitant on young quarterbacks, though, in general. Even good prospects, I often just don't buy into it and look like a dumbass for it at that much. So let's go ahead. So all that to say, though, there's likely going to be a vacancy at the position in the NFL at the end of the draft. We've already established that, and which also brings me to my last point of why you should buy him. If he starts games this year, the value's gone, especially if he plays well. The value's gone because everyone in the media, in the fantasy media, and everyone on these sleeper apps is going to be talking in the comments and on Twitter, X, YouTube, and all this shit, talking about, well, you know, he's only got one more year left on his deal, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be saying all the same things we just said earlier, but they're going to be going frenzy about it, and they're going to be pushing out a bunch of content about, you need to buy low on Mac Jones, blah, blah, blah. The buy low window is going to be gone. This is the buy low window. We are in that moment right now. And if he comes in and he balls out, like I said, in the media, like ESPN, they're going to be on and on about it. It's going to be, well, you know, Mac Jones, he's a free agent, blah, blah, blah. He played really well. Really should the 49ers just spend property. You know, they're not going to say that part, but you know how the media gets. So I would definitely, if he's not on waivers and you've been sold on our case tonight, I would definitely go get him now because I think the window, it's only going to get more expensive as we go, I think. Reed was talking about, you know, if you're trading from a Purdy manager, you might have to give up a second round pick, but I don't think I'll say this. If you're a contender this year, I wouldn't do it, because if you're trying to trade your pick, you should use something that's going to bolster your team and make you even harder to beat this year, I think. Unless you're just so head and shoulders above everyone else and got it like that you can't, excuse me, you can go ahead and start looking towards next year. Then I guess by all means. But I would say for this is probably more for the guys that are like, I'm middle of the pack. I'm going to see, how the team runs this year. If I run hot, I'll let it ride and see if I can't, place and get my buy-in back, or the guys that are just like, hey, I'm looking at next year anyways. So I think it would be a great time to do it. If you're looking at next year anyways, I think if you could snag like him for like a third round and maybe like a random other player that might have some value, or maybe you can give them use that player. It's a handcuff for someone they have. You can kind of be like, well, hey, yeah, you're giving up this handcuff, but you're getting a pick and you're getting another handcuff or something like that. Maybe you can work out that kind of deal. I don't know. And not everyone's going to value him the same. Some people might already be hip to what we're talking about and think the same thing. Some people might value him less. You might get him for even less. So, yeah, that was my case for Mac Jones being a 2027 sleeper in Dynasty. I'm glad I didn't have to do too much convincing with Reed and Brady. They seemed pretty on board. So I feel like I was cooking that Alfredo with the take. Brady was pretty excited to say it was going to be a chode pack take, but I don't think that's the case. Otherwise, he's smoking the chode pack too. That is it for tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, please like and subscribe, share with all your friends. I'll pull up some of the affiliate links here. Never mind, no, I won't, because I don't have that ready. So it's whatever. But please go check it out. Make sure you use promo code CBR12s at checkout. Save yourself some money. Help us make a few bucks. Support the show. We're really trying to grow this. I'm about to be doing the daily pod again. Daily scores, random stories. The way this preseason and camp has gone, probably going to be doing like a daily injury report. Like, hey, these 20 dudes got injured. Here's how it changes the draft kind of deal. Yeah, I'm really excited to get back into that. But we'll be talking MLB scores, the major headlines there and across the sports world and whatnot. And I'm excited to have that in. So check for that every morning. I'll be recording that at night when I get off, about 3 a.m. So before I go to bed, I think that's all the programming notes for now. Yeah, like I said, share, check out the affiliate links. Appreciate you guys. Like I always say, nothing changes if nothing changes. We'll see you guys.